Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Rao. We are now starting our podcast number 4 in the series. This is about proactive wellness and how we could really help ourselves. It's about taking care of ourselves, taking responsibility for ourselves, our physical health, mental health, relationship health, and also spiritual health, and all that, right? So I'm coming here every day at 9 a.m. Central Time so that I can talk on a variety of subjects related to what is wellness, how can you be that holistic health, and what is that we can do, and we can be proactive about that so that we can take our concerns early and detect problems early and go to our providers, doctors or trust practitioners or anybody that you go as a primary care provider so that you are understanding about your condition, you have knowledge scientifically, and also some of the ancient wisdom tricks that you could learn so that you maintain your wellness and health for a long time, and not only for a long time, but most of the time you are well, you are free of disease, or you control the disease, and you are not allowing the complications to flourish, and you are joyfully living, not just existing on medications and all. You can take the medications if you need be, but it is to have the independence of those medications as much as possible. That's better. Natural living, holistic living, they go hand by hand. Okay, so we started this 3 days ago. First episode was that as a culture we have evolved into working, doing stuff. That's all okay as long as you revive yourself. You stop once in a while and then attend to your inner being. That's the important thing in the culture compared to ancient people who are always having a simple outward life and very rich inward life, right? That simple outward life has now multiplied into very complicated life. We have buildings, cars, devices, and so many things to do, traffic, all these things absorbing our time, but it doesn't allow us to pause and reflect on what's going on within our lives, within our bodies, within our minds, within our inner self. So what is the inner self? So it is about not just doing, it's also about being, inner being. That's the first episode. And second episode, we know there is so much of the burnout happening. What is the biology of burnout, and then how we take life, how we react to life, how we really react emotionally even for the small things, and thereby we kind of create this cascade of stress hormones where we can manage them just by uh, activating the opposite parasympathetic nervous system, which will rest and guide you and then give you good hormones to work with. Okay, not to be stressed out, not to be diseased. Right. That's the second episode. And yesterday we talked the third episode where we are really shortened for time. So, but today I'm going to go to the fourth episode, which is the cost-effective compassion. How can we so yesterday was more like a silence pause, and that is the episode we talked about. And today we are going to talk about compassion, and that is easily available for us as human beings. We are all capable of having that compassion, and that is cost effective. So that's why I named this episode cost effective compassion, how it can be very useful to you and to the person who are showering the kindness and compassion. Okay, it's very important to really be heartful. It's important to be able to give, and you get a lot by giving. Okay, so this is the karma yoga. You do your duty for the sake of duty, and you do the duty without expecting anything in return, and then you give without expecting anything. That is very healing for you. You see the people who are really heartful in the sense they kind of greet you, they kind of give you a hug easily, they kind of listen to you carefully, and you feel really uplifted by their attitude, by their consideration, by the random act of kindness, right? Actually, this is one of the things I train the physicians who come to me for burnout coaching. One of the things I tell them is random act of coaching, random act of kindness. I ask them, do you have opportunities during the workday, apart from seeing the patients, doing chart work, doing all the orders, go to the meetings and all that? Do you take time to be kind and compassionate to a colleague, to a patient, to a patient's relative, to an insurance agent? Any number of people will react, right? I kind of looked at one time, on an average, we work at least with 50 people in a day as a physician. You go and you see the patients, you talk to the pharmacist, you talk to the therapist, you talk to the nurse, you talk to the other colleagues and specialists, and you talk to the insurance people, talk to administration. So any number of people come in my way to talk to me about something related to the patient or related to their own problems or hospital problems or whatever, right? It's not gossip. It is actually they have worked with you, you know. Those people will come probably if somebody is talking to me, a nurse is talking to me about a patient, some other pharmacist or some therapist will come and they want to talk to me. So at one time, so many people come into my face. So you got to be careful and not to be short with them, not to be discourteous with them, not to be cruel to them. So if you remember this random act of kindness, and let me be kind to this person, maybe I can go a little bit more than what I'm doing, what I have to do, instead of acting like I'm important, my time is important, you should wait, or you should, any number of things can be easily, our mood can be easily like that, especially if you are egotistical, especially if you think you are the one who is important more than the patient or everything else. So if you forget that you are there to help the patient, right? So it can happen. So I asked the physician, can you be kind to somebody that's not related to your work, that's not related to you, and they just coming in your path of work, you know? Many people told me, no, no, I'm so focused on my work, finish it off. I don't have the time, so that's why sometimes I don't even spend much time with my patient. And then people are objecting to it. People are asking me to slow down and pay more attention to the patient and all that. So that's one of the reasons why they are burning out to begin with. Whereas if you approach with, let me be kind to this patient or to the patient relative or whatever, you feel like you are being kind and compassionate, but you feel nurtured. Okay? You don't be kind because you want to be nurtured, but it automatically happens. That's my experience. The more I open my heart, the more I kind of thought to my heart, not through my shrewd mind, shrewd intellect, the more I felt nurtured. That is a human experience. Everybody has it. You have a dog, right? And then you automatically go reach out for it, and then you be affectionate and all. You feel good. Why? Because these inward happiness and kindness and compassion that comes to you from being kind to somebody else, is really remarkable. So that's why I promote random act of kindness. That means at any given time, anywhere you have somebody coming in, and then that somebody can be shown compassion and kindness, right? Yeah. So that is what happens. Okay. So Please be aware that a random act of kindness is an important start. Okay. Uh, okay. So as I go through this today's podcast, I wanted to tell you about my medical practice. When I practiced for more than 40 years, it was kind of natural in the beginning because I was very young when I entered into the medical field. I think 23 when I got my medical degree. And also in India, you are much more innocent, much more, you know, uh, naturally kind of friendly and happy. And also, I was raised by my mom. I never knew my father, but my mom was very heartful. She doesn't have this cleverness, shrewdness, or anything like that. She was more like a very heartful person. She was kind. She never hit me for any reason. I kind of didn't want to go to school that much in the beginning, but she allowed me anything that I wanted to do. So she was kind and she was very loving to everybody. So that heartfulness of hers rubbed on me, and that was the way it was. Okay, so uh, in my practice also, I discovered something simple yet profound. See, if you have compassion for the patient, the healing is faster than any prescription. That is the truth. You can give the prescriptions to aid the healing, to cure the disease. That's fine. But how the patient feels, how the patient really understands, and all that is because of that, right? So uh, even if you take some studies, that when a physician listens, even 3 minutes, even 3 minutes longer, then the patient's blood pressure drops measurably. This is actual studies done when the physicians are doing the blood pressure check on the patient. And if they're kind, if they're friendly, they're really listening to the patient, that blood pressure drops somewhat. Okay. In the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, Patanjali talks about Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upekshana. They mean you cultivate Maitri means friendliness, and Karuna means compassion, kindness. Mudita means that you are enjoying other people's success, other people's health, other people's wellness, not yours, but you are happy for other people. And upekshana means you have equanimity. How these things happen, if you know that you are in one humanity, everybody else is you, then you automatically have friendliness and compassion, and you're also happy because the other person is not separate from you. And because the equanimity automatically comes. So studying Yoga Sutras and understanding each sutra and applying that in the life is very important too. This That's a whole lot of things. We'll do the entire Patanjali Yoga Sutras substance and the summary later. Okay, so I'm going to give you a small exercise now. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to embody this practice. Okay, you are taking deep inhalation, right? Inhale kindness to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't be too harsh on you. And you are exhaling, give kindness to someone in your life. Somebody you know or you don't know, or even the people going around, anything like that. And then do the next breathing. Inhale compassion in and inhale compassion out. Calm passion is passion for everybody, everything, living being. That means trees, animals, and also human beings. Everybody, not just our relatives, not our state people, not our country people, not just who is friendly to us, but everybody. See, this you can feel how that love circulating the oxygen. So compassion costs nothing. It heals everything. Okay, so that is what you want to understand from this uh, podcast, I want to emphasize on that. How can we be really compassionate and also loving at the same time? And that comes from within. Once you have that, once you give it, it keeps on nurturing. So I always talk about giving is getting. When you give without expectation anything, you are getting a lot in return. Appreciation by people. That should not raise your ego, though. Once you are egotistical, you lose this. But once you understand ego is your shadow and you don't want to be egotistical because you are accepting everybody else, you are not separate from them, right? That there is no ego at all. And when you do that, automatically you will get it. Lot of people are forgetting that these days because they are so oriented towards doing. They are so oriented to getting things done, achieving things. They have goals. To achieve the goals, determine the goals, but then don't keep them goals in your mind all the time. But the process to achieve the goal should be the focus for you. And when you are kind to other people, you won't get irritated that much. A lot of people, they get very annoyed by the weather, by some discomfort, traffic, by the interactions with people, their questioning, whatever. Watch yourself. If you are getting irritated, if you are getting really angry easily, that's not good for you. Your anger creates stress hormones within you. At that time, pause and take the deep breath in and say, I'm going to be kind to myself. I'm going to be kind to other people as I breathe out. And as you inhale, say, I want to have compassion in, and exhale, compassion out. Buddha is a big deal on compassion. Okay, so he always talked about uh, kindness, right? Kindness, just like that, without really expecting anything. Okay, so hopefully that makes some sense. Anybody has any experiences with this kind of practice, you can come and tell me. And present to me what are the situations that presented to you to be kind, to be compassionate, to be loving to other people. Are you heartful, or are you always being very clever and self-centered or anything? It's not a crime to be like that, but what it is you are losing the epitomes of civilization of the humanity. Humans are heartful. Humans are loving, kind, and friendly people. So if when you have this, you all feel like you are really living. When you go to a place and everybody is happy to see you, and you are being acknowledged, all those things happen because when you are giving out the kindness. Even these talks and everything, whatever we are doing, we are trying to help each other out, right? And we are trying to give something from our heart to the community, so that the community can learn and community can really uh, implement them if they are not doing them. But if they are doing them, very good, we follow that too. So anybody has experiences like that, please come and share with me. Or you have questions about this, or you are discovering you are moody, you are angry, you are really not able to be kind to our persons. Here I'm going to tell you something I made for my children. I wanted to explain to them what is the ancient wisdom essence. I want to give them simple language and also something that they can remember. So what I did was, there were 7 qualities of our inner being. Okay, and those inner those qualities are, first of all, it has the knowledge that we are all in the same boat when we are at the being level, at the consciousness level, at our inner conscious being. We are all one life force, only one life force going through all of us. Okay, so once you understand that, that is called gnana. Gnana means knowledge in Sanskrit. that knowledge that we are all one life force. Even physics is acknowledging now that we are all in one energy. We're not separate. We are all in one energy. We may have separate bodies, separate mind, separate lives, and all that. But the essential life force that traversing through all of us, all the living beings, all the animals, all the plants, is only one life force. Once you understand that, then you have a purified heart. That is the P, you know and you are peaceful too, because you don't have any difference with other people, right? And then you have, yes, G is the jnana, and P is for the purity and the peace, and uh, S is when you are purified heart, and when you don't have any wars or anything with other people or other ideologies and all that, you have peace. So you are a purified heart and peaceful heart, and then you have welfare of sukha santosha. That means you will be happy, and you will be uh, welfare is assured for you. You know, and when you have all that, the peace, happiness, and purity, you are really having the power. That's called Shakti. Yes, is for those things. Sukha, Santosh, Shanti, and also the Shakti. Shakti means the power. The people who have camaraderie are together, are not divided like Republicans, Democrats. They are peaceful, right? And they have more resources together. They can apply, and they can go beyond. This division of heart, division of identity is all over in the terms of different countries, different religions, different people among the countries also, different states, different languages. So many divisions are there if you uh, fall for that. Okay, so that GPS love means that is the loving feeling among all equal human beings. Okay, that is the essence of the ancients. What the ancient said was, we are all in one energy, and we are all in one boat, and only one human tribe. So don't divide yourself and be non-peaceful, but be peaceful, because you can accept everybody as they are. You know, the neighbor is my brother, right? What was that? That. So think about that. He said any religion advocated this all the time. Only we kind of identify differently, and then we kind of build those walls. So break those walls with compassion. Be compassionate to the other person, because he is you. The neighbor is my brother, right? That kind of things are not eroding now. But look at United States, how it was built. It accepted everybody. When I went to the New York, I went to the Statue of Liberty, and then you can see the boards there. They are going to accept everybody, right? They are kind of helping everybody in all this. So this kind of uh, differentials came now, like we're spending money for other people and all. So a lot of help to the USDA and other people, where they are sending a lot of aid for the Africa, Asia, and other countries which are struggling. That and a lot of regard for United States. Now that is being eroded by people who are not compassionate, who are not heartful, who are doing these different walls between the people, right? So, but in a daily life, can you go, if you are a grocer, and I know one grocer in New York, he greeted everybody with a warm, big smile. So all the traffic that came through really acknowledged that, really help understand that he's doing something. But then he always greets everybody with a big smile and then friendliness, and he's doing his work, but whoever he sees, he gives that. And they were very happy to see him. So we are so deprived of friendliness, kindness, and compassion, right? So maitri, mudita, karuna, upakshana. That is the four qualities that Patanjali recommends in his book Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Maitri means friendliness. Karuna means kindness, compassion. And mudita means being happy about other people's success. Cecilia and me, we happened to discuss this one time. She does this beautiful program called Kudos to Everybody. Okay. So she just is happy that somebody else had a good day. She's just happy somebody has achieved something. And that happiness flows through her program. And it has been going on forever. I often come there and just to support her and also just to express my appreciation of her. And we talked, she caught on that mudita and she discovered for herself in her experience how happy she is when somebody else has a good day. So she gives the kudos. Simple, but very effective, right? So that compassion that she shows, the friendliness she shows, the joy she shows for the other people's success is really driving her, is driving all the people that come there. I'm sure you have been there and that you experience that too. A lot of people come there too. I also make sure that I appear once in a while and, appreciate her and the spirit with which she's kind of, giving, right? So I'm sure all the other people also want to help other people. That's why they come and present their skill and their whatever means that they are trying to help other people. They are doing that. Okay, so cost-effective compassion means compassion is free. Only clean your mind with all the differences that culture may have, but or families might have, or school, all these people might have done that. But when you go to work, when you have the skill to help other people, this is going to be a very big tool for you. Okay, so anybody has any questions or concerns or what? You could come up, anybody, and then ask me anything, or you tell me your experiences with this kind of attitude and how that is felt for you, and how you have been trying to be randomly kind to someone. You don't have to necessarily know, but it could be like your coworker, it could be subordinate, and then be kind to them in some aspect. Even if you have to tell them something negative, you could really tell them in a way that they will. She's always said that, right? It is how we say it. It's not what we say it that matters a lot. And also, people don't remember a lot of your theory, but remember how you made them feel. So all these inner workings are important in human relationships. Okay, um, lately that is becoming much more apparent. In New York, for example, there was a man lying on the side of the road, and then nobody stopped. Everybody. So, as civilization, are we getting so numb to be human, to be our heartful selves? That is the question that was raised by that, and then they went into that, and then psychologists, political scientists, so many people talked about it. But this is actually happened in 90s when I was there in New York. So you can see how people have become so raw, so numb to human suffering. Okay, but you are there at the office, or somebody has a bad day, or somebody is having a family emergency at home, but they cannot miss the work because they need the job, then you can find out why they are like that. One principle I had in my long practice was, whoever had mental problems means emotional problems because of something happened in their family. They're young girls coming to work for us. They get trained at around 18, 19 years, and then they stay with us for a while, and then they move to other places. So I have a constantly 2 or 3 years. I have to hire people because the other girls are moving to greener pastures or improvements, or their family formed and they transfer to something else, right? But when they are there, when they are working for me, one simple rule for me was, if they are under emotional distress, if they are stressed out, I want them to really come to us and open and tell us frankly, and then we let them go and really adjust with other people. Or I chipped in sometimes. That acted wonders because they felt like they were cared for. They felt like somebody is there to really understand their plight and also help them, give them the inner resilience that I'm used to, and I teach all the time. So getting them have the strength to face the adversity in life, that is an act of kindness. That is compassion too. You could do that every day, not like we're really going into their personal affairs, but making them feel comfortable enough to come to you for support, for guidance, for really understanding and all that. And sometimes they just came and talked to me and they felt better and they went and worked well. Sometimes I kind of took the opportunity to take them to a lunch, all of them, in ours is a river town, right? We have big parks and all that. So we have multiple picnic spots, beautiful spots. So in the middle of the day, we used to take 45 minutes break and drive, and then pick up the food on the way. And then we went there and spent 45 minutes to 1 hour at the break there and came back. That's the advantage of being in a small town, right? But then the effect of that kind of thinking about them, giving them some good time, and breaking the stress circle worked wonders for me. And they became very, very happy and really improving their skills, and they're focusing everything and coming there not as a workplace but more like a family place, their home. We could create as leaders, as running our companies, we can create that kind of atmosphere, not asking only work, work, work. Care for them, show them the friendliness, show them the compassion. That is very cost effective because your compassionate will come back 10 times to you. Okay, but don't do that with that expectation. But that's the truth. That is what happens. Okay. Other thing I was talking yesterday was in this, not this Friday, from next Friday, next week, I'm going to bring in one of my friends. I'm going to ask them ahead of time whether it is convenient for them or not. Once it is, then I'm going to bring in people that said to me that what I was talking about and what I was making an effort made an impact or difference in their life, and share with us not about me but about that wisdom that helped them in their life, so that that wisdom can be spread and then can be validated, can be really understood, and that way they will be living a very, uh, very uh, good life. And basically related to how it helped them to live longer without illness, how it helped their illness or chronic illnesses, how it helped their capacity, efficiency, whatever, and how it helped them to be joyful, and how it helped them to be really happy and doing stuff that they otherwise were not. Any number of things. It could be physical improvement, mental improvement. They became more focused and more not bothered by this burnout, stress, and all that. Or they were doing better with their life, in terms of eating or exercise or sleeping or anything, or how are they dealing with their chattering mind and all that. So any improvement, any part of it that I would like to uh, what they told me, I would like them to express in the group and then tell them how they have gone from there and improved and all that. A lot of friends say that. So I'm going to ask them, whoever wants to come, only I will bring them. And also I hope they have some meaningful thing that they have learned from my interactions and from my presentations. And a lot of people call me when they're stressed and burnout. Okay, I work with somebody losing a uh, personal friend, and they are really, had problems with grief, and some people have relationship problems. Some people have school problems, like Melissa here, Melissa Brent. She's a teacher, so we happened to talk about education one time, and my understanding of the ancient system and modern system, and how we could understand modern system and make it better. That's what we talked about. So we are asked her to come and tell me about that as a teacher, what it is making a difference for her. So like that, interactions. Not about me, not advertisement. I don't need that. I don't live for that. What it is how can we be improving these episodes? Maybe they could suggest something to me that I could expand on, or give clarity on, or improve something. All those things will be collectively helpful to everybody. Okay, I hope you all understand the spirit behind it. So, Janet, you want to come and tell me about this random act of compassion? I see Janet, that's why I call her. Only she comes sometimes. So.
If you call me, I'm going to come.
How are you, Janet?
I'm well, thank you. And how are you?
I'm good. What do you think about this random act of kindness that I propose to people?
Yeah, I've been trying to practice that for a long time, and
yeah,
I have a sense of humor when I'm around people.
Yeah,
If I see somebody that's kind of down or got a frown on their face, I try to speak to them or make a little joke. Just anything to get them to smile.
Wonderful.
A smile can change your whole day.
Exactly. That's an act of kindness. Just to be even that to them.
Right. Right.
Instead of pointing out, oh, you should be this, you should have done that. Just being humorous about the situation is a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Humor has gotten me through life. It really has.
Yes.
I learned at a very early age, if I could make my dad laugh, then he weren't screaming and yelling,
Janet, laughter the best medicine, right? They say. And we have the laughter yoga. There's a lot of laughter yoga. Probably we will do one episode that. Okay.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, because it's a practice that you could do. Very simple. Get up from the bed in the morning, go to your bathroom and face the mirror and start laughing at yourself, and the act of laughter out loud done starts a good hormones within you. And there are groups that gather in the morning in the Bombay, and they gather together. They don't do yoga practice only, but they will stand together and laugh just for the sake of laughter. And that promotes good hormones within you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I believe that because I laugh at myself frequently. There's a lot to laugh at, believe me.
See, in the morning when you get up, if you go to start that is wonders. That's why. So we'll do that one episode. You gave me a good idea now.
Okay.
Okay. So.
Good idea. Good.
Yeah.
I know when people practice random acts of kindness for me, it makes my day. It's wonderful. And being we having gray hair and not being able to get around real good, I really relish it when some young person, assists me when I need it.
Yeah.
Or holds the door for me, or gets the shopping cart for me or something like that.
That's it. That's it. It's even,
I love that.
yeah, simple things. You don't have to spend any money or anything. You just have the heart for it. And it's not only you are feeling good. That young person who is doing the service for you is feeling very good about himself or
Yeah,
herself.
that's
Yeah,
right. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
But just a smile.
yeah,
If you can't do anything else,
yeah.
you can fake a smile,
Yes,
and soon they'll be smiling back at you, and you'll be smiling back at them, and
exactly.
other people will smile too. It's awesome.
Exactly. It only takes a couple of muscles to smile, but it takes so many more muscles to frown. You know, in the facial yoga, we teach people how to be naturally smiling, how to be appreciating something and then appreciating other people with a smile. You know, I teach my girls when I was practicing, always greet the patients coming in with a broad smile. you know, unless they are in suffering or something like that. Usually, when they greeted them, they are happy to see them. They kind of liked it. They waited for a longer time because they were greeted very well. You know, so actually, it used to train them. Look in their eyes, remember their first name, and then because they come on appointment, right? And then greet them, and then make them feel like you acknowledge them and you are happy to come there, and they began to do, and they began to like, because they formed so many relationship with the patients.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, very simple things we can do, uh, just because we are thoughtful, we are heartful, and we are kind and compassionate. That's why, be aware of what is going on with each interaction, be alive in that, and be at peace. So that is what I would say. Until next time, if anybody else wants to come and say anything, you could. Uh, Otherwise, we will take leave in a few minutes. This episodes are going to get deeper and longer as we go on, because I want to address so many things related to proactive wellness. How people can be proactively well. How people can be really help themselves. At least not to suffer so much, or get caught by situations that are brewing in their body, mind, and relationships or whatever, right? So nip it in the bud. That means you have to be aware of what's going on with your lifestyles. Basically, the pillars of wellness I talk about: the eating. The food has to come to your plate, right? So much goes before that. Can you raise your own vegetables and fruits? Can you raise them in a way that they are not chemically more treated, but less treated, and also as much of all the natural stuff? Maybe compost, maybe manure. Like, then you have good food that you could put in your mouth. Can you prepare that well? Can you consume that well? Sitting down, taking your time, appreciating, savoring the food. Okay. And if you do all these natural things, you will live really long, not only long, but live well. Not only live long and well, but you will be joyfully living, not suffering and then going on somehow. That will not be there. So we will go on continuing. Several topics are coming up. If you want to hear about something like somebody cannot sleep very well, or somebody um, do not know how to be quiet and silent for a while, anything like that, you could send me a DM, and then I will make an episode of that. Otherwise, I'll go my own agenda, and then I'm going to present. I was presenting civilizational existential problems. First, I took up on there is too much doing, too little being. That was my episode. That's a statement on the civilization, how the whole civilization is going around, how we give so much importance about things, not about our inner human being. Okay, so like that, I also, how much people are noisy, chattery in their minds. They don't have silence. how peaceful that is to have silence, you know. So that kind of thing. Okay. So I will come back tomorrow again around 9 a.m. Central Time, and I'll be uh, doing that for you. Okay. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow again. Bye bye.